Jesse is with us in Boise, Idaho. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Good, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Hey, so my girlfriend and I should say my girlfriend's mother, she's getting an inheritance from her mother passing away, and she's going to give us $215,000. And I guess my thing is we've got about $10,000 in credit card debt, about $50,000 in student loans, and right now we're living in an apartment. And I'm just not exactly sure what to do with the money and then how to avoid getting super taxed on it.
You won't have any taxes on it at all.
Okay.
The taxable income, a gift is not taxable, and this is a gift. It's her money. She's giving it to you. There's no taxes on it to you. Now, she needs to go see an estate planning attorney. This is your mom giving you $215,000, right?
My girlfriend's mom, yeah.
Your girlfriend's mom. Holy crap. Why would she give you money? She would give her daughter money.
I mean, we're pretty much married.
No, you're not pretty much. There's no such thing as pretty much married. You're either married or you're not.
Okay.
I mean, legally, this woman is a nutburger if she gives you money.
Right.
You're not married because you could just leave.
Indeed. That's very true.
That's just silly. So, I mean, that's just nutty. So I wouldn't do that. But if she gives her daughter money, let's go back to that for a second, okay? And try to answer your question. But, dude, you really can't treat this as a legal couple because it leaves this lady that's being $215,000 worth of generous tremendously exposed. And you just don't want, it's not fair to her. So, anyway, she needs to see an attorney. And is her estate over $5 million currently?
No.
Okay, then she can give you this money without any gift tax if she claims it, write this down, under the Unified Estate Tax Credit. She's using up part of her federal estate tax exemption upon her death by giving it to you now. If she just writes you a check, she's going to end up with $100,000 in taxes. Do not do that.
Okay.
She needs to see an attorney and do the Unified Estate Tax Credit. Now, once she gives that to her daughter should become debt-free, and if her daughter wants to buy a house in her daughter's name, that's fine. And if her daughter is living with a guy that would be named Jesse, then he's living in someone else's house. That's the legal way to put this together, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
And that way you're not leaving these ladies legally exposed to a mess. However, if Jesse were to get married prior to this happening, then Jesse and his wife would be living in a debt-free house. The student loans would be paid off. Credit cards would be paid off and cut up. We'd be debt-free with an emergency fund, pay cash for a $120,000 house in Boise, Idaho. Now, that's probably your best game scenario. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button to get the latest content and check out these other great clips from the show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I recently purchased a car, and I think it's a mistake.
Uh-oh. Give us some evidence that makes you think it's a mistake.
Well, it's a Mercedes. It's very luxurious. I feel like the gas is premium.
Well, that's a fact. That's not a feeling. I've got one of those. It's a little extra. How much did the car cost?
$17,000.
$17,000. All right. And did you take a loan out on it?
I did because I didn't have a check at the dealership, but I'm going to pay it off as soon as the first bill comes.
So you've got the $17,000 in the bank?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. So we're off to a decent start here. How much money do you make?
Our household is about $160,000.
Well, I got great news for you, Greg. That car's not too expensive for you.
Yeah, what's your hang up, dude?
What's going on? Not to mention you actually have the money in the bank. So you've been disciplined enough to save it up. So what's making you think it's too much car?
I don't know. It's a really nice car. And
what year is it?
A 2013.
Bro.
All right, listen.
What model? Hold on.
It's an 11-year-old car.
I know. Hold on. I'm going somewhere. What model is it?
It's a C300.
Dude, I got the 2013 C250. That's not too much car. It's a great little car.
Did you grow up with not very much, Greg?
Yeah, we were pretty poor.
Yeah, and when you grow up that way, sometimes those people drive Mercedes, not folks like us.
Yeah.
And then you put those people into a category of bad people.
No, not bad people. I just feel like I don't deserve it.
Okay. Yeah, you got to stop with that nonsense.
Yeah. You know what, Greg? Is it that you don't think you deserve the used 2013 Mercedes? Or is it that you think you're being irresponsible?
Maybe that's it.
That's what I'm hearing. I don't want to necessarily hang that on you, but you started talking about, it's 17,000.
Well,
I
think he's finding a reason to break up with a car. You know when you're dating somebody in high school and you're
because he thinks he's being irresponsible. That is $17,000 where I come from? Yeah. That's what I think is going on. Am I right, Greg?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Most of the calls we take with people in your situation on this show make $160,000 and they've just bought their third Tesla.
Or a $50,000 to $75,000 truck. We got that call yesterday.
Yes. When it comes to the number, you are showing incredible restraint and discipline by buying a $17,000 car. And by buying a used car where somebody else has paid all the depreciation on this thing. If you don't like it or don't want it, sell it.
That's true.
Who cares?
How many miles does it have on it?
77,000.
Yeah, here's what's interesting. I got mine a steal of a deal. I bought it from a dealership, and an old couple had just turned it in. And I think I got it with 40,000 miles, so it was practically a brand new car. You remember what I got? And it's still here's the thing about the Mercedes. The only thing I would say, because I'm watching it,
the repair bill's high, huh?
I just put brakes on it. Just a normal maintenance.
They're proud of those brakes.
It's everything on the Mercedes they're proud of.
Yeah.
So what I would tell you, Greg, is that a part of this purchase, you've got the 17 to pay it off, but you do need to understand that yes, your gas bill is going to be more. Everybody else is excited about gas dipping in the threes, and I'm always like, because again, it requires the premium gas. You feel me, don't you, Greg?
Yeah.
So you're also looking at the inflation that is always there with any kind of car that requires premium gas. You also are looking at it's a lot more expensive to take care of. However, that car, the reason I got that car is it was a great deal, but it's also going to go to my kids. And if I take care of that, which I am,
it'll last forever.
And I plan for it, a Mercedes will run forever if you do and you save in a sinking fund. So you need to have a budget item in your budget for that car so that when you got to pop $1,500 for brakes, you're still going to have some antacid issues, but you've got the money. Does that make sense, Greg? I do want to prepare you for that because that's something that I have to think about.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, can you do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
I know you can. I wanted you to hear you say that you can do that.
Okay.
But I think you need to say, is it okay? John, I still think he thinks he is just highfalutin, just pissing money away.
Other people drive Mercedes. And I want you to say, whatever you and your household have done, y'all worked your butts off. You're doing good. You're paying cash for cars. You are making six figures. Y'all are doing great, man. You may need to lean into this new identity that you have, this new world where I work hard, I get paid, I get rewarded for the hard work I put in, and we're extra generous. And I buy 10-year-old, 11-year-old used cars, but when I do, I get a nice one.
That sounds great.
Or, dude, here's the other thing. I'm not a Mercedes guy. I'm an old beat up truck guy. Okay. Right, so that's fine. It comes at a cost. I look ridiculous in the truck I drive sometimes. It's silly. And also, that's all right. See what I'm saying? So if you're going to lose sleep over it, then sell the car. But if it's an identity thing, that's your new thing to work on, okay? Because you're a good man who worked hard, and bro, 11-year-old used cars.
Yeah, you're fine.
Get it, man.
All right, John, I got to flip the tables on you here.
Okay.
What about your Texas upbringing, Texas Tech pedigree makes you think that you don't deserve more than a beat up truck?
I actually do. I went to I don't know if it's a deserved, but I think it's okay. I went to
Of course
buy.
it's okay.
I saved up, went to buy it, and to get me a brand new Tundra. And I went to the dealership. It all worked out, and I just couldn't do it. And that's like I came home with a Highlander, great car.
It's a great car.
Good car, good for grocery
Why
carrying.
did you do that?
I just wasn't in a place psychologically to do it yet. I will one day, but I just wasn't there yet.
All right.
And I'm
See,
not
I
gonna
like turning the tables.
I'm not gonna fight myself on it, but I do know. Oh, this is an achy point for you, John, because me growing up, those people drove the new trucks.
Yeah, and that's
in our
interesting.
house. We didn't do things like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's for me to work on.
I had the same issue. Yeah. You know, I was like, what? You're going to pay that much for gas? I think my old man's still freaking out about it when I told him what I have to pay for gas. You know? But it is what it is. Good stuff. Hey, thanks for the call, Greg. You're in great shape, my man. Enjoy that Benz.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm having a little issue. I lost my husband in 2008 and got a settlement because he died in a work accident, and had a family friend who was a trust officer at a regional bank and offered to help me walk through the whole process and drew up some trusts for me and my kids. And 2 years ago, I found out that he stole all the money.
Oh, my goodness.
2 years ago?
Yeah, should have been about $8 million in the accounts, and there was nothing. So I just recently received a malpractice settlement for $531,000, and took me 2 weeks to even put it in the bank because I was scared to let go of the check.
Sure.
So I've just got it in a money market account right now at 3.75 interest because I just needed it somewhere safe. But I need it to grow, and I'm just scared to do anything with it now.
Sure. Can we just ask what happened? Did you report this to the law? Is there anything working on this?
Hey, George here in the control booth, and I bet you're wondering what they're going to say next. Get out of debt, sell the horse, yada, yada, yada. The advice may be predictable, but the internet is anything but. You see, your personal info is out there, up for grabs by shady companies ready to add more scam and spam to your life. And that's why I use Delete Me. Delete Me will scrub your data from all of these sites so that you can focus on The Ramsey Show instead of who's buying and selling your info. And Ramsey fans get 20% off at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or by using the link in the description below. So go take control of your privacy as soon as this call is over.
Anything working on this?
I have some attorneys that are working on it, but it looks like he has spent all of the money. I might plausibly recover a couple $100,000 maybe.
Wow.
Is he in prison now? Where is this guy?
He's in Florida right now, and we found out there's other widows he's done it to.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm hoping that he's going to be arrested soon.
Well, that's the hope.
Okay.
But we all
in
know
the
that-
meantime, we've got to help you with this $530,000. Do you have any debt right now?
I moved into a trailer when I found out, or into a camper when I found out the money was gone because I panicked and didn't want to be spending any more money. So I owe about 12 on the camper, and I have a little bit on a credit card because that had kind of been my backup while I was figuring things out.
Do you have a job?
No, I still medically am not in a place that I can really get a job, but I do get workers' comp from my husband's accident.
Okay, so what are your monthly expenses, and then are you able to cover those with your medical?
Well, I just recently, the guy who took the money was giving me a paycheck, so I had Obamacare, and when he took the paycheck, now I'm on Medicaid. And then I just found out that because of this settlement, I'll probably lose the Medicaid. So just little things that are up in the air that I'm not sure what to do. But I don't have a lot of expenses. I get about $27.83 a month from workers' comp, and I have about $1,500, give or take. I pay extra on the camper and medical bills and things like that.
Do you have any family? Do you have kids?
I have 2 grown children, and I actually, my camper is on my mother's property.
Okay. And where were you living before?
I had an apartment. I went straight from my mom and dad's house to my husband's house. So I got an apartment and decided I would live in town and do that for a few. And
so what would it cost you to rent somewhere? Let's say you got rid of the camper.
Everything I've looked at, the camper's better than what I would spend to rent.
Well, better is I want to argue with that word. I don't know that your quality of life is amazing right now, living in this camper on your mom's property. I think you need to stand on your own 2 feet and do some sort of work that you can do, because I don't know that this is going to provide enough income for you to cover for the rest of your life. When does this workers' comp end?
I get it until I'm 70.
And how old are you now?
53.
Okay. So you got another 17 years of this 2783, but that's not enough to cover your bills and have a life.
No, that's why I need to know what to do with the money.
Well, you're going to need to invest the money. You don't need a big portion of it right now other than paying off this debt, which I would just suggest selling this camper and getting rid of it. Are you underwater on the camper?
No, I went very minimal on one.
So you owe $12,000. What is the camper worth?
It's probably worth 20.
Okay. So you could profit off of that. And then what's the credit card balance?
It's like $5,500 right now.
Okay.
It's got medical stuff on it.
So you could sell the camper, use the profits to pay off the credit cards, never touch debt again, build up an emergency fund with some of the settlement money, and invest the rest.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
Friends. My husband and I did financial peace before he passed away. So I've just been in this situation now that I had a little bit of credit card debt in the camper because of what happened.
Well, you're going to start a new chapter now. I mean, it's been a long time, and I think you've been stuck in the sort of fight or flight, and then all the grief of learning that this money's gone, and the frustration, the resentment, the anger that you must be feeling. There's a lot going on here, and I think we just need to move forward. And I hope that you can get some resolution. I don't think you're going to get all your money back. I do hope this guy gets what he deserves, but for now, you got to go find something you can do and create a life for yourself.
Yes.
You're in survival mode.
I am, very much so.
So what would it take for you to be able to do some sort of work? Is it physical therapy, rehab, therapy? What would it take?
It's all surgical. I just have a lot of internal issues now from all the surgeries.
Could you do something from home, customer service? You're talking to us, and so I feel like there's got to be something out there you can do to create some income.
Plausibly, I could do something from home. I guess it's probably a little lack of confidence, too. I was been a stay-home mom since I was 24, so...
Well, you've got a good personality. You've got good common sense. Your brain's working fine. And you need to be working for momentum's sake. It's not about a ton of money that you need, but it's about momentum across the board. Your shoulders will go back a little bit more. Your head gets a little higher as you begin to see that I can take care of myself. And the good news is, if you do what George told you to do, we also want you to go see a SmartVestor Pro in your area, or 2 or 3, and have them explain how they're going to help you invest that money. And then your confidence begins to grow, and you can still climb back here. Thank you for calling.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Some of you are new to this. We've got literally millions of you joining us in the last couple of months. Thank you. We're so glad you're here, and we want the opportunity to love you, an opportunity to help you. And sometimes you get in here and you hear information that's new to you. It's a new way of thinking. And for some folks in our culture today, that's not a challenge because they're looking for new information. They're looking for a new way of looking at things. Other times it's a challenge for you because you get all disturbed and you think it becomes your job then to get us to change. You got confused about how this relationship works, okay? Because this is called the Ramsey Show. This is what this is who we are and what we teach. If you want to do a show, go do a show, okay? But,
did you get some hate at the break?
No, I always get hate. I've gotten hate for 30 years. You're going to get a hate after that last call. Like you always get hate every time you bring this whole thing up. You get trashed on this stuff. And but the whole point is, let me help you with this. For 30 years, every letter that has come to Ramsey, to me, has been answered, except junk mail and hate mail. There's no reason to answer hate mail. And there's no reason to answer idiots in the comments section of YouTube. Okay? There's no reason. Because let me just tell you, did you think we were going to change because of you, little troll? You got confused how this works. We're not going to change because we're right. So that's why you came here in the first place, because you wanted new information, because the information you were using sucked, and so did your life. And so we're here to help you with that. It's what we do. And so, but don't get confused about this stuff. It's just hilarious to me that I was just reading a book.
But there are things you learn in life, Dave.
I learned on the air something yesterday.
Okay. I would love to hear.
And so I don't mind learning, but I didn't learn it from a troll.
Sure.
Okay. And I didn't and I didn't learn it from an activist. Oh, give me a break. Get a job. So just I was just thinking about how much crap you're going to catch.
Oh,
and
it's fine. I'm fine.
You actually see it, but I don't even see it because I don't even look. If you read comments after an article, you understand why some species kill their young. I mean, it's just the ignorance that abounds out there is unbelievable. So the interesting thing about this, the last 25 or 30 years, we've all grown up. Some of you have grown up with, and I've adapted as an old fart to walking around with this magic wand in my hand. And so I can push a button and stuff shows up on my front porch. I'm magic. And so I must matter. I've got great power. No, you really don't.
Do you think that's where it comes from?
Yeah, I guarantee you. We gave people agency beyond their ability to control it. We gave them autonomy beyond their ability to control it, and thus they become trolls. Because they thought they got confused and thought someone cared what they thought. Hey, listen, you live in your mother's basement. I don't care what you think. It's not. I'm sorry. You haven't earned the right to speak into this yet. Okay, so that's that. Just to go ahead and help you guys that are new how this stuff works. Well, you're arrogant. No, I'm just confident. There's a difference. Arrogance is unfounded. Okay, we've been doing this 30 freaking years.
And the
it works.
And the principles work.
And they're biblically based, common sense. When things used to not be so nutty out there, and this agency and autonomy we've given to people who have to have an opinion and to speak in and to raise hell with people when they haven't earned the right to do it is not good for our culture. It's damaging our culture because then people are actually being swayed by crazy people, the mob. And so it's hard to cancel us. We own this, and we're not going to stop. So if you don't like it, your only option is leave, because we don't even care if you bitch. It doesn't bother us. So just kind of helping you guys set out how this works. So I just got to every so often we have to reset the equation here.
Man, you dropped the B word, Dave.
So I mean, it's okay. Life's good. Life's good.
It is. And listen, it's fine. See, it's so fun. I'm like, it's just different personalities. If there are people that totally disagree and they think we're nuts, I'm like, that's great. That's fine. You can think we're nuts.
Just go somewhere else. I mean,
it didn't
why are you wasting your breath? That's my point. Yeah, move along, little doggy. Yeah. So there we go. Caitlin is with us. Caitlin's in Memphis. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Ken. How are you guys?
Good. What's up?
Great. So I'm 23 years old. I just graduated with my master's on April 30th.
Congratulations. And what?
Awesome.
Thank you. In cybersecurity.
Ooh.
Wow.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear that sound? You hear that printing press sound in the background, folks? That's money.
Yeah, she knows it too. That's the laugh of, yeah, you're right.
Good for you.
So, thank you. So my mother informed me that she has zero saved for retirement and expects me to take care of her during her retirement years.
Ooh.
Obviously, I don't want to abandon my mother. So how can I best prepare myself to take care of her when that time comes.
You're 23. How old is your
Yes,
mother?
sir. She is 46, sir.
Okay. So what part of her childhood trauma has damaged her psychologically to make this ridiculous but statement?
That I am not sure.
Do you agree that that's absolutely ludicrous for a 46-year-old to put on a 23-year-old that you're going to have to take care of me someday? When you've got 20 more years to work, you ought to be taking care of yourself?
When you put it that way, sure. But I do love my mother.
That's not a question of loving your mother. It's not a question of honoring your mother. Your mother's misbehaving.
Yes,
Does she work now? Does she have any type of career or job, or there's some type of challenge she's dealing with that makes her put this on you? What's the backstory?
She does work. She's a secretary and making around $30K a year.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just think it's a matter of not knowing how to get to. Since she hasn't saved up to this point, I think it's a matter of not knowing how to start, or that type of thing.
Well, is this a flippant comment, or you think she seriously expects you to just to write her checks when she retires because she's worked her whole life and didn't bother?
I think it's 100% serious, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, there's 2 or 3 issues going on. Okay. Issue number 1 is the answer to your question is, how do you help anyone financially? You first have to put your own oxygen mask on, meaning that you can't help people if you're broke, so you need to become wealthy. And you're going to do that. You're going to be making a lot of money, and you're going to follow the baby steps that we teach, and you're going to stay out of debt, and you're going to invest and save, and you're going to be a multimillionaire by the time you're 40. Okay? And so you'll be able to write her checks. That does not mean you should, but mathematically you would be able to if you followed that. Do you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the next part of the question for me is, how do we honor the office of motherhood? In other words, the Bible says honor your father and mother. It does not say buy them cocaine if they are a cocaine addict. That is not honoring them. And so the Bible's not suggesting that by honoring your parents you participate in their misbehavior. And for a 46-year-old to plan on retiring broke and be taken care of by their children is misbehavior in the American culture. Now, in some cultures, it would not be. But in North America, in Memphis, Tennessee, that's misbehavior. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
So how can we help mom when mom is engaged in misbehavior, behavior that's inappropriate? And so what I would do is this. I would say, hey, Mom, I'm going to go through this class because I'm going to start making a lot of money called Financial Peace University to learn how to handle money. And, man, I really want you to go with me. Would you go with me, Mom? And I'll pay for it. And let's get her in this class and teach her how to handle money. And let's get her believing, having some hope that she actually could have the dignity of controlling her own destination without depending upon her daughter. Because I got to tell you, I don't know what kind of person it is that actually feels okay about themselves when they are planning to fail and dump it on their own kids. I don't think she feels good about herself when she says that. Or she does. If she does, then somebody needs to bust her. And we can take care of either one. We can help her by busting her, or we can help her.
That's right. And Caitlin,
help her by having some hope again and going, okay, hey, let's take this $32,000. Let's motivate you to get that income up. Let's motivate you to get your budget going and start saving, because she honestly should be able to take care of herself. And I can show her how, and I will show her how, and I'll pay for it.
Yeah. Caitlin, what's missing here is your mom simply doesn't know. That's what you said early in the call. She just doesn't know. And so if you could take her to that class and then begin to cast a vision for her, to show her at the age of 46, if she puts away this amount of money per year over the next 20 years, where she can get to. She just needs to see some vision as well. So don't just take her to the class and encourage her, show her, but begin to take that knowledge that Dave's going to teach in that class and show her how to see what she could actually do. I mean, a lot of times, Dave, ignorance is debilitating.
Yeah, you don't know, and so you become hopeless, and then you do stupid stuff like, dump this on your 23-year-old kid.
Yeah.
It's just absurd. So I want you to hear, the main thing I want you to come away from this conversation with Caitlin is the courage to say, Mom, you're responsible for you. Don't need to be. And no, I don't accept this assignment. And I do love you. And oh, by the way, this woman right here, she could be a travel agent for guilt trips sometimes, can't she?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so don't cash the ticket in on the guilt trip. Just go, yeah, I know,
It's a matter
Mom.
of, I'm one of 4 kids who, not to, throw dirt on my siblings, but I'm the one who, quote unquote, made it out and actually did something with my life.
Yeah, because you're going to go big. Your income's going to be more than your brothers and sisters put together.
Yes, sir. I'm starting with $100K.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you're going to 200 in an eye blink in your world, if you're smart as I think you are.
And Caitlin,
but that does not mean you have to take care of everybody that won't take care of themselves.
Right.
That is not a moral obligation on your part. And I want to set you free from that. Then, if you choose to turn around, once you're emotionally free from this toxic argument, this toxic mandate that's coming at you, once you're emotionally free from that, if you still choose to come back as a position of strength when you don't have to, but even though I don't have to, I want to, I'm still going to be kind and I'm going to help some people that are in a mess, then that's fine. That's fine. But I don't want you signing up at 23 years old for a 46-year-old babysitting job. That's just ridiculous.
That's right. And Caitlin, I would also tell you, if you're not careful, there's an emotional trap in this relationship. And here's the trap. Mom puts the pressure on you to do this. You love your mom. You don't want to disappoint mom. So here's what happens. You do something that inherently you shouldn't have to do. And in trying to please your mom, you end up resenting your mom.
Yep.
And what Dave is telling you to do is you need to be okay disappointing mom, but in disappointing her, hopefully pointing her to a better future. And then in the end, you won't resent her. And so I would always rather disappoint a family member or a friend than I would resent them. Because, see, the disappointment is on her side. The resentment will stay with you the rest of your life. And so you got to be careful of the emotional trap here.
Here's the last part of the story, and then I want you to hold on. Kelly's going to sign you and your mom up for Financial Peace University. I'm going to pay for it. I want you guys to go to the class, okay? We want to help you fix this problem. But here's the last part. When you meet a guy, if he's a really good guy and he wants to be your husband and you want to be his wife and you fall in love, he's not going to like this deal. He's not going to like this obligation that comes with this deal. I met this great gal, but she insists on taking care of her mother, who won't take care of herself. That's, how can I say this? Highly unattractive. That's a good way of saying it. There you go. Okay. Thank you for joining us, America. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Mike is in Dayton, Ohio. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good, Dave. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, I got a question for you. Just trying to figure out how to keep my credit card debt from getting any worse than what it is. It's about $13,000, and we don't have. It's just a single income. I have a wife and 6 children, and just trying to figure out an option for me to keep from adding to that credit card debt because it's getting a little stressful, I guess.
Okay. Well, I think I would probably change my language if I were you. I don't want to try to keep from adding to it. You have to.
Okay.
You have to stop adding to it because it's going to. If you just keep on this road, it's going to lead you into bankruptcy. You can't just keep adding to it. Know, I don't make enough, so I'm going to put it on a credit card. There's an end to that road, and it's into the wall, right?
Right. Yep.
So you got to, So the first thing we're going to do is get out stupid credit cards and cut them up and say, okay, this isn't an option. We have to find an option that works. Because this option feels good by Friday, but this option doesn't feel good 5 years from now. It leads to bankruptcy and stress and marital stress and everything else. Okay, so 6 kids to feed. That's a deal. What do you make a year, sir?
Oh, $52,000 to $55,000.
Okay, and you have $13,000 in credit card debt.
Pretty close, yeah.
And what other debts do you have, not counting your home, sir?
Well, the debt's basically just some medical, and we've been putting the groceries on it. and we did have a vehicle expense in there.
Do you have a car payment?
We just have one payment, yes.
How much do you owe on your car?
And we owe just a little over $2,000 left on it.
Good. All right. And what other debts? Do you have a student loan?
Nope, no student loans. Nope, that's just a house mortgage after that, and that's it.
Good. Okay. And how much is your mortgage payment?
Mortgage payment with escrow and everything, right around $1,000 a month.
Okay. All right. There's two sides to the equation and one thing you can do to increase efficiency. The two sides to the equation are income and outgo. No kidding. You knew that.
Yep.
You need me to tell you that. A higher income fixes some things and lower outgo fixes some things. I don't think you guys are being crazy, wasteful, princess, spoiled brat spending. You're feeding six kids on $50,000. This is a tight budget, so I don't think you're out. I don't think you're doing a bunch of prestige spending or buying a bunch of crap because you're emotionally immature. You're just trying to make ends meet, and it's tough. So,
all right.
The outgo. My point is, I don't think your outgo is probably out of control. Your income is tough with a family that size. You know, the thing that we're going to do is two things. One is to address the outgo side. We're going to get you and your wife to sit down and develop a detailed, written budget before the month begins. Your income at the top of the page, and give every dollar an assignment, starting with food and lights. Every dollar has an assignment down the page. Each month you do a new one because months are different. This month we have these bills laying here, and we've got to buy food, right? And we figure out every dollar before the money comes in. It's already spent on paper. It already has an assignment on paper, and you and your wife agree to it. When you do that kind of detail, and it takes the first 90 days you do it, it's kind of a pain in the butt. It is a pain in the butt. But when you do that kind of detail, you will feel like you've gotten a raise. For instance, when you take your how many times you get paid a month?
I get paid every week.
Okay, you put 4 paychecks at the top of the page, and you take out your house payment, and you take out your car payment, and you take out lights and water and food, and you start taking out the things you know you have. There's going to be money left, and you're going to go, where's this going? That's what I mean by you're going to feel like you got a raise. I'm not saying you're being extremely wasteful, but everyone, including Dave Ramsey, manages money better when we have a written plan every month. There's a free app for your phone or your desktop called Every Dollar that we developed. It's the best budgeting tool out there. It's completely free. Jump on and get it and get started with it. That's thing one. That'll help you control your expenses, and that's the efficiency thing I was talking about. You'll get more efficient use of the money. Then the second thing, or the second and third thing, part of the equation is the income side of the equation. Once you lay all of that out and you say, if we didn't have any car payments or credit card payments, we'd have more room in this budget, right?
Right.
So getting out of debt then becomes one of your things, and you say, all right, what have I got to do to get out of debt? Well, Mama's got a full-time job. She's got 6 kids. All right, and Daddy's got a full-time job, but he may have some extra work or some overtime for a period of time to knock out these 2 debts. Because that would give you wiggle room in the budget, and that may, that margin in the budget to be able to do things. Now, and then so short term we might do some stuff to get your income up, and then long term I'm going to start asking myself the question: what do I want to be in 10 years? What do I want to be that makes $75,000 or $100,000 or $175,000? I don't care. What do I want to be doing in 10 years? Because living this tight on $52,000 with 6 kids is probably not my plan for the next 5 years. I'd like to increase my income, and what do I need to be doing? Do I need to take a class? Do I need to change careers? Do I need to further the career I've got? Do I need to talk to my boss about what I can do to move up the ladder at this place and get paid a little more? I don't care, but you start thinking and asking yourself, if I could do anything I wanted to do 5 years from today, 10 years from today, what would I be doing that makes more money? And amazingly, ideas will start coming into your brain. They probably already come into your brain, but you've been just trying to make Friday work every week, and you don't have time to think about the future. I'm going to force you to think about the future because I don't want you at $52K plus part-time jobs for the next 10 years just to feed 6 kids. And so I'm not saying you can't do it on that. I'm just going to tell you it's not going to be fun. There's not going to be a lot of wiggle room. You guys have not done a bad job with money. If you'd done a bad job with money, you're going to call me up with 50 grand in debt, not 15 in debt. And, you know, you got a little car and you got a little bit of credit card debt. But you caught this before it got out of control. So you've done a pretty good job to date. We just want to start winning instead of going backwards, if I'm in your shoes. Hey, thank you for calling, sir. It's an honor to speak with you. Matthew's in Atlanta. Hi, Matthew. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What's up?
All right. So, I want to start off with, I'm a big fan of baby steps. I'm 24 years old. Currently just finished building a house. Did a lot of the work myself with the help of friends and family, and was able to build a house for under $200,000 in this crazy market we're in. But basically, I'm at a point with that project kind of depleted my savings, but I'm starting to have some serious truck troubles. And I know you are anti-car payment, and I'm just trying to figure out what I kind of need to start preparing for, because it's an old pickup truck. It's got almost 300,000 miles on it, and it leaks oil. Doesn't have AC. It's just, it's basically, it needs new tires. It just needs a lot of stuff, and it's probably needs more than the truck is worth.
All of that was happening while you were building the house.
Yes.
So why did it now become a dadgum emergency?
Well,
I mean, that was happening 6 months ago. It was leaking oil.
Yeah.
6 months ago, it had 298,000 miles on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to give you permission to turn it into drama now when you didn't then.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you make a year?
About 36,000.
Okay. What other debts do you have?
I have some debt to some family members to help me kind of seal the deal with getting the house finished in time, because with all the material rate increases.
How much do you owe your family?
Right at 50,000.
And what's this house worth? About 300?
No, it appraised for 500,000.
Way to go, man! Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you.
What do you do for a living to make $36,000 a year?
I work for a local property management company doing maintenance. So basically, we manage rental properties, and I help fix them when they break.
Okay, good for you. Okay, two things I would do if I woke up in your shoes.
Okay.
I was pushing on you because the change in the truck is not material, only the change in your situation. In other words, the truck was not a crisis before, but it became a crisis now that you finished the house, and you looked up and went, "Oh crap! Look what I did."
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and you go, "What if this thing falls down on me?" Well, here's the thing: probably you've got 6 months before the thing lays down.
Okay.
But very likely you got 3 months. Would you agree with that?
Okay. Yeah.
Because it's just you just looked up and went, "This roof looks bad. It's probably going to leak, but it's not yet leaking." And that's kind of what we're doing here. Mm-hmm. So that's the way I'm analyzing this. And if I'm missing something, you can argue with me. That's okay.
Okay.
So what would I do in your shoes? Man, you have a gift in knowing how to work with your hands, and you can make a lot of money building decks on the weekends or doing maintenance handyman work for somebody on the weekends. And I'll bet you could pile up $5,000 or $6,000 in 2 or 3 months, side jobs.
Yeah. And I do have a woodworking business that I'm kind of in the process of starting up.
Do you make any money at it?
I haven't turned a profit yet.
Okay. I want you to go make some money to buy a truck. I'm not talking about your dreams. I want you to go make some money to buy a truck.
Okay.
Like because you're driving a $2,000 truck. We need to get you into a $6,000 or an $8,000 truck, so you need $5,000 or $6,000.
Okay.
And you need that in the next 90 days, and you need to get that as extra income. Way to go.
And this next truck is not going to be pretty, and your buddies in the construction trade are going to make fun of you when you pull up to the site.
They already do, though.
That's right. And so none of that's going to change. My fear is that you got a house now, and you've started flexing your muscles a little bit, and you think guys in houses should drive cars that look like X or Y.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to start getting too big for your britches you owe your family. Like the way you talked about how you got into this house, I did it for $200,000. And then you quietly whispered, and I had to go ask mommy for $50,000 too. Right? So there's a little bit of flexing and a little bit of reality. Let's do this all the right way, and let's work like a maniac for the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. Pay off mom and dad. Pay out. Get yourself a truck that you can rely on, and build your business. You're worth more than $36,000, my friend, with the skills you've got.
Yeah, you need to be making more money overall. That's a Ken Coleman thing there. But as far as what you called about, as far as the truck, 90 days, $2,000 a month is $6,000. Sell the truck for $2,000. That's an $8,000 truck. That's a move up. That's not a permanent solution, but that keeps you from being left on the side of the road without anything working. You're probably going to put some tires on it in the meantime too. Because you might blow a tire. That's very real. I don't know how bad the tires are. You got to look at them. But if you can make it 4 months with the tires, because tires do not increase the value of a $2,000 truck.
Yep.
So putting $1,000 worth of tires on there doesn't solve anything except keep you from being stranded. So that's what I would do. And the second thing I would do is I would just run down to the credit union. If you can talk them into it, to loaning you $50,000 on a $500,000 house, fixed rate on a 1-year note, and pay it off in 1 year, and go ahead and pay off mom and dad today.
Yes.
Because Thanksgiving dinner tastes different when you owe your relatives money. The borrower is slave to the lender, and it changes relationships, and I wouldn't want that even for a year if I were in your shoes. But if you don't have any choices, then you just need to do what John said and roll up your sleeves, and after you get the truck, let's go ahead and get the family loan cleared after that. So, but great job. 36 grand sitting in a $500,000 house, almost paid for.
Dave, he's on a precipice. He is right on that edge where 24-year-olds become 25, 26-year-olds, and he can look up and owe nobody anything.
And be a millionaire.
And be a millionaire in short order. Or he could
fall backwards into normal.
A 2024 F-350 dually and plus this and plus a bunch of tools.
Owes more on that than he does on the house.
And be in a mess. He's sitting right on that precipice, man.
Yeah, you could fall off into stupid right here real easy.
Real easy, man.
Yeah,
from two guys who did it, right?
Yeah. This is true. And why did it involve trucks in both of our cases?
Both of our cases.
There you go. So, there you go. Anyway, we know the type. We look at them in the mirror.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Hey, nice call, Matthew. And overall, man, I got to tell you, this is pretty impressive. 24 years old, $50,000 owed on a $500,000 house. Very impressive. Very well done, sir. But yeah, John's right. Don't fall the wrong way on this. Lean up the hill. Don't fall back.
Okay, one of the big cultural norms, cultural myths, is that a college degree is the best way to success. Now, that may have been true based on where culture was 30 years ago, 40 years ago. It's not true anymore as education continues to evolve, as technology evolves. And one of the things I wanted to point out, George, is a recent Yahoo News story that talks about a new report that shows which colleges offer the best ROI. So we got a lot of money questions and calls. Obviously, people don't want to win with their money on the show. And so ROI standing for return on investment. So if you think about how much money you spend over 4 years, and here's the deal. The data shows us that a lot of kids are taking 5 to 6 years. So this is let's call it a 4 to 6 year spend on college. All right. And so just touching on a few things from the article. The report has a calculator where you can go in and you can search 3,300 colleges in the United States. And from this report, you see a lot of technical institutions, science and engineering type institutions tend to have a greater ROI, right? Because of the explosive growth in those areas. And, the even the entry level in those areas is quite nice. And here's how they came up with it. How they come up with, because I think this is important for consumers, is they're thinking, what's the right school for my kid? What's the right school for me? More on that in a second. But this report basically took the college earnings premium, which is the pay bump that students would get after graduation or as a result of graduation, and they divide that number by the cost of tuition. And then it's going to take into account a range of other factors like student debt, to how long it takes to complete it. So what are you racking up in debt? How long is it taking to get to the degree? As well as what are the labor market challenges that graduates will face? To give you an example of what I'm talking about here. We know that over 50%, I think it was about 52% of college graduates in 2021 took 6 months to find a job in the field they went to be trained for. So this takes into account that as well.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to dive into this very deeply, but public institutions via this report, this ROI calculator, George, tended to do much better. The private nonprofit institutions were next, and then the private for-profit institutions, not so good.
Uh-oh.
So now let me just call this out because this is a trap. The private for-profit institutions that did not have a good ROI, in fact, according to this report, just 69% offered a positive return. And I don't want to name names and hack anybody off.
Sure.
But, they're out there, they're for-profit, and they're big box. It's like, hey, come here, we'll get you trained for continuing education, blah, blah, blah. So be careful.
I'm looking at some interesting numbers here on the calculator.
What do you got?
I typed some schools in just to see. My alma mater has a $200,000 positive ROI.
Oh, very nice.
Texas Tech, Dr. John Deloney's alma mater, has $1 million ROI. Typed in Harvard University, just to see, $3 million ROI. And so that's what they're saying. It's very interesting, but to look at different schools, and this varies person to person. If you get a full ride, well, that changes the game versus going $300,000
And let's
debt.
also understand, we are not endorsing this calculator. I want to be very clear. I'm saying it's a very interesting
tool.
It's an interesting tool, but I think you've got to take into effect the student loan nonsense.
Yes.
And what you're going to saddle yourself with. And I'm just going to say this to everybody listening and watching. When was the last time you went to the doctor's office or the dentist office or sitting down with your CPA, and before you decided to pay them for their services, did you ask them to show you their diploma? Nobody cares.
I scan the wall looking at the frame.
I know you do, George, but you're neurotic. Nobody else does that. No, we're kidding. He doesn't do that. So this is the point. Let me just also give you a two-part question that I'm trying to help parents grasp. Is college the only way for your kid to get where they want to go? Secondary question, is it the best way? If the answer is no to either one of those, please be okay going to the block party or the golf course or the soccer game and going, hey, my kid's going into trade school. Stop being ashamed of it, for crying out loud.
It wears me out, the shame that we've put on community colleges, on trade schools, on state schools even, and it's got to stop because it's putting our kids in chains for 20 years so that the parents can feel good, so they can brag to their friends about where their kid went to school.
Yeah, it's become about status, folks.
Don't go for the football team, don't go for the landscaping, don't go for the water slide.
Yeah, if you've got to get the degree, get it. If it's the best way to get where you want to go, do it. If it's not, get over yourself.
And this is a great pitch for everyone to go watch Borrowed Future. It's 88 minutes long. You've got to see this. Sit down with your kids, parents. If you don't know how to have this conversation, this documentary can be a great place to start. This is a world-class documentary we put out late last year. It's like $5 to go watch this thing. You can get it on Amazon Prime, on Apple TV, at our website, borrowedfuture.com. And listen to the podcast. That's a free resource, Borrowed Future. We did 8 episodes on that, on the student loan crisis, and it was eye-opening. But it just made me go, I want to shake every student and go, there's another way.
Well, you realize...
You don't have to fall for the traps.
You realize that higher education has become about their fortunes, not your futures.
Amen.
So there you go.
You should tweet that. That's good.
Yeah, I'm working on that one. You need to spread that one.
All right, today's question comes from Wesley in Arizona. I've been hearing, oh man, anytime somebody starts with, hey, I've been hearing, oh, here we go. I've been hearing more and more in the news recently about the government looking at digital currency. Are they doing away with cash? And if so, should I be worried? Some are suggesting taking money out of the bank and investing it in gold or silver. That's not something I feel comfortable with, but I don't want to lose my money. They're coming for us, Dave.
You got a little prepper down inside of you.
Oh, way down in there. I'm worried about some, and I've been hearing.
Yeah.
Man. They're coming for us.
They Said and I Heard are a really crummy financial planning firm, especially when you're getting it off the internet, because everything on the internet's true. Abraham Lincoln said that. So Okay. First, let's understand that actual paper money is a very small percentage of our economy already. That when you Venmo someone, when you write a check to someone, when you use your debit card to someone, when you have an automatic withdrawal from your checking account to someone, 100% of the money that transferred was digital money.
You've never written me an actual check, Dave. It just deposits in my account, right?
Yeah. All of my payroll is not done with real money. It's done with digital money. Cue the UFO music. Okay, so, dude, we're already, I don't know what the percentage is, but what would you guess? I mean, what percentage of our economy is paper money and what percent are digital transfers, as we just discussed?
Just guessing, I'd say 95%.
At least, yeah.
Really high.
In the high 90s, it's got to be. Our digital transfers, they're not.
Here's what I know. I recently bought some concert tickets for like a bunch of us, and I had everybody pay me back. I still don't understand how to get Venmo from Venmo into my checking account. So I said, hey, you guys got to bring me checks. And I might as well have said, hey, I want y'all to all just wear your bathing suits over to my house for dinner. Like it was this, they looked at me like I was from Mars. And they all wrote checks, and they were all written in like they'd written them with their feet, like they didn't know how to do it.
Like little children wrote the check.
Yeah, and Sheila was like, man, I don't know how you have
what
friends.
What grade did they graduate from?
Wesley, you and me, brother, we can count our silver coins when it all goes down out the woods.
So really, my point is to do away with cash and coins would really not disrupt most of the economy.
Most people, most of the time.
Most people, most of the time. I mean, I was in the gas station the other day, and a guy bought a pack of gum with his debit card.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? You don't have $1? I mean, you don't have $2? I mean, because people just, I mean, especially depending on your age group, right? Old fart like me, I've always got a couple of $100 bills. I got a redneck emergency fund. There's always $1,000 in hundreds tucked somewhere in my clothing, right? But oh my gosh, but young people, they're just like, oh, it's all digital. So we're not making fun of you. We're just pointing out that digital is already very much a way of life, and so don't panic. And no, there's no credible indicators that the government is going to do away with paper money.
I think
there is some credible indicators they're going to do away with a penny because it costs more than a penny to make one.
Right. And man,
it does literally.
Yeah.
They're losing money producing pennies that nobody uses.
Correct.
And so so we probably are going to see some of that. But
there's some discussion about digital currencies, and I think when the Bitcoin thing went crazy, those who were deep in all knew it's going to go bankrupt. It's the technology that's going to be cool down the road.
Yeah, the technology is probably going to end up usable.
Fine. All just like I imagine there was a hubbub when the debit card came out, and then direct deposit came out, and I think there's always a lag on that kind of technology, and it is what it is.
And there should have been a hubbub when the IRS had the unbelievable genius move to withhold your taxes from your check before you ever got your check. That was genius.
Yes.
That created a whole country of sheep.
Yep.
And because I got to tell you, people, if y'all had to go line up somewhere and hand $100 bills to someone called a tax collector for your taxes out of your check every week, there would be a revolution.
Oh, baby. There would be
like pitchforks and burn the monster. I mean, it would be, torches. Can you imagine?
Oh,
that's how genius this transfer idea is.
Hey, we'll take care of it. We got you.
Yeah, it's a low friction. We're going to make this easy for you to pay your taxes, and then you can just go to sleep, and we will take all your money.
Well, I remember during COVID when they said, hey, we'll just deposit it for you.
Yeah.
And I thought, if they can just put it in there, they can just take it out of there.
Oh, there you go, paranoia.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I told you there's a prepper down in there.
Oh, he's way down in there, but he's there. But hey, and I've talked about this on the show before, Wesley. For those of you thinking about investing in gold or silver, here's the reality. And this comes from a great quote from one of my closest buddies who works in banking there in Texas. If it actually all goes down, if we are trading coffee and bullets, we have this idea that
our lives are going to go on as they are. Like we're going to go to the gas station in our car on the way to our jobs, and we're going to hand a canister of bullets and coffee in exchange for the gas. If we get there where we are trading gold coins,
Yep.
your neighbor will have already shot you for your water, and you will have already, like, you're eating pets. Like, everything is different at this point. And so we stop falling for the, you know what, when it all goes down, you're going to want to trade gold bullion for your, for
It's
what?
not. It's not.
It's not going to work that way.
There's no failed economy in the history since the Roman Empire that has used gold as a method of exchange because of a failed economy.
No.
Never once.
And if they find out
Not
you got it,
once.
they'll come get it.
Not once.
Right.
No.
That's not the hedge. Know your neighbors. That's the hedge.
A can of gas, some new blue jeans, bullets and coffee. That's the barter economy is what happens in a failed economy. And then a new regime comes up and they create new paper money with their face on it.
Ta-da!
This is The Ramsey Show. Cynthia is with us. Cynthia is in Des Moines, Iowa. Hi, Cynthia. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Doing great. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I just have a quick question. So I am hoping to get on to baby step 4 really soon.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is around baby step 4. I'm wanting to contribute about 15% to my 401k.
Great.
Hoping like this next paycheck or possibly in February.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm noticing that the market is, well, it's in the toilet. So should I really contribute at this time, or should I skip it and move on to like something else? Or
when I was a little kid, my mama would take us to a store called Kmart.
Yep.
And Kmart would, in the middle of the day, run these little sales. They called them blue light specials.
Blue light special.
They would turn on a blue light over the top of the whatever area, and you could go over there and get you a coffee pot on sale or whatever. That's what we're having right now, darling. This is called a blue light special. You need to buy while it's
on sale.
Buy while it's on sale.
Okay, so buy at the dip. Okay.
So you know why? How old are you?
I'm 40-ish.
Okay, 40-ish.
Own it. Own it.
I'm 61. I'm right proud of it. So there you go. But the so here's the thing. In 20 years, where do you think an average of companies that sound like this? Apple, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Boeing, Microsoft, Home Depot, on average as a group, now there'll be one or two that fail, but on average as a group, an aggregate of that group, 20 years from now, are they going to be worth more or less?
Well, ideally more.
Well, not only ideally, there would be that's what has always happened in history 100% of the time so far in the American stock market's history. Now, obviously, the world can fall apart, and we can just blow this whole thing up called America. But if anything stays similar to what it is, 20 years from today, it's going to be up, and you will be glad that you bought in the cold winter of 2022 when the market was freezing to death and down because of whatever was going on out there.
I haven't even seen.
Always something going on.
How far down is it? I haven't even looked.
I dropped 500 points in one day the other day, but it's back and forth. Let me say out of 30,000. 500 points used to be a lot. It's not anymore. But yeah, it's Ukraine and and Biden mumbling, and they can't. Nobody's got any idea that he's going to do anything, and so the market's just unstable. Geopolitical crap always destabilizes the market. It always has. I mean, this little thing happens on the other side of the world, and boom, all of a sudden. Because people just have this little black cloud following them around on Wall Street.
Just waiting for the next bad thing.
Waiting on the next bad thing, and then they're psychological as it can be. But Bitcoin's in half. Oh, God! Who knew? Who knew that was going to happen? And so
anybody with investing wisdom of more than 8 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's true. But fairly easy predictor. But fairly, easy predictor. And this is just it is a geopolitical driven. It's not economic driven, and it's not profits. The profits of the companies involved have not changed. So are they suddenly worth less?
Right.
No, they're still worth what they were worth. It's just they're scared they might be down in the future because of war with Russia or China or destabilization of the political environment, all that kind of crap. So do I think all that's going to happen? Nope. I think there's going to be problems, and there's going to be times when there's not problems, and the market's going to go up, and the market's going to go down. And only people get hurt on a roller coaster are those that jump off in the middle of the ride. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hey, Debbie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. First, I'd like to say thank you for all the education you guys have given me over the last few months. It's been very helpful in my journey.
Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you.
So here's my story. I got divorced about 4 years ago, separated. It took about 4 years to get divorced. I was married for almost 25.
Oh, man.
So I've been navigating my life for the last couple of years, trying to figure out what works for me. I was fortunate enough to get a nice alimony through my divorce. And I had my ex-husband had to give me a vacation home of ours that I sold for twice as much as what we valued it for.
Oh, wow.
So I have $1.6 million in the bank.
Okay.
And I'm looking to build a house. And my financial advisor is telling me I shouldn't pay cash for my house. And I am just like, it's stressful for me. I don't know what the right thing is to do. And
is he giving you a reason? Is he giving you a reason? What's his reason for that?
He says it just doesn't make sense to take 37% of my money to build a house. Like that it just doesn't make financial sense. And
interesting.
I haven't, when I was married, my ex-husband took care of all of our finances. So this is so new to me, and I listen to your show a lot, and I hear all the different things, that you guys say about what they claim if the interest rates are lower, you're getting more for your money if it's invested. And again, I get super confused, and so I just don't know. I'm 50. I'll be 60 in 2 months.
Okay.
Looking towards retirement.
So Debbie, what other debt do you have? Any debt?
I have no debt.
Okay. What's your current home? What's your current home valued at?
I don't have a house right now. I live in an apartment.
Okay. And how much are you wanting to spend on this build?
So the quote for the house is $630,000.
And you just want to plop down the cash, pay for it outright, and that be that.
Yeah.
And then do you have retirement? Do you have any other savings?
Well, I have the $1.6 million,
which would dwindle to $1 million. Which would you knock that down to $1 million, right? Okay. And what are you living off of right now? Like, are you still working?
So I get alimony, which is about $62,000 a year tax free.
Okay.
And then I have, I'll call them my side gigs for my jobs that I absolutely love, that I make about $25,000, which is I'm a nanny, and I truly love my job. So, and again, I'll be 60 soon, so I don't know how long all this is going to last as far as my income goes.
Yep.
But my alimony's lifetime.
Alimony's lifetime. Okay.
So Debbie, your financial advisor is naturally always going to yield in the sense of investing your money,
of course,
because that's how most of them make money. And again, we're not mad at that. Right. There is a time and a place to invest money, and that is a wise thing to do. But it's also really stupid, Debbie, in my opinion, to go and take out a loan for something that you have money for with plenty of other money. You have $1 million left over. If you said you had $1 million, you wanted to go buy $1 million house, I'd say, no, Debbie, we can't do that. But you're spending you're going to have $1 million at 60 years old as a net worth of just cash, plus a $600,000 paid for house. Mm-hmm. And if you invested that $1 million, Debbie, and you did that, for 20, 30 years, you're okay, Debbie. You have a paid for house.
Uh-huh.
You have no bills.
I know. That sounds so.
I almost would just fire your financial advisor, because I think you're on separate pages. I think the way they view money is in a very stereotypical way. And again, Ramsey, we're known as being a little bit different in this arena, anyways. Yeah. But from a mathematical standpoint, this is not a massive risk. You're gonna have $1 million still in a paid for house.
Mm-hmm. And there's always that equation of peace. Who wants to enter into retirement with a
mortgage payment?
Right. And
That's just
again,
more that you'll be.
so
That's
freeing.
more money you'll be pulling out of that investment anyway. I mean, it's going to get paid for regardless, so you may as well pay for it up front.
Yeah, and Debbie, the 630 that's everything, right? Land, build, and all, correct?
I've already bought the land. The land is already purchased.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's on a beautiful lake. Like, I feel really special and fortunate.
Yes.
If I woke up in your shoes, I would definitely do this.
Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, Debbie, and just to kind of give some clarity around it, you said you'd listened to the show and heard about interest rates and all of that. So one deterrent for people for paying off their house is they may have a low interest rate on their mortgage at 2 to 3%, right? Where in the market, you could be making 10%. So a lot of people say, why would you take money that could be making 10% and pay off something that you're only paying 2%, if that makes sense. So people have that argument a lot, and mathematically we understand that, like, right? We know that is the math, but what people don't put into the equation, number one, is a level of risk. Whenever you carry any level of debt, even a mortgage, there is a level of risk in your life. You owe someone something. And then the second, Debbie, is that they don't calculate and put into a formula, a spreadsheet, peace. Like what Jade mentioned earlier.
That's
this
right.
level of peace that you don't, again, you're not strapped to anyone. You are free and clear financially. And that is the most powerful thing that you can do. So Debbie, I'm so thankful you're listening to the show, because I'm so sorry you went through this horrible divorce, but we talked to a lot of women who are in a similar situation that for the first time, they're kind of out on their own financially and they're having to learn and all of this. So Debbie, if you stay on the line, Christian's going to pick up, and I want to throw in Jade and I's book, both of our books.
Yes.
To you, just to continue, just to learn and to grow in this area, because personal finance, it doesn't have to be that complicated, but you do want good people in your corner. And I don't trust the advice of your financial advisor, if I were to be honest.
I just think it's, money is so much more. Sometimes we're just looking at the numbers and the dollars and the cents. But in this case, it really humanizes, because it takes into account like our psychology and our emotions and the way we feel, not just a math equation. And so honestly, you're right. This is one of the one times where the math, it's not always about the math and how the maths.
That's right. Yes. Yep. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But when it comes to debt and borrowing money, there is a truth that the borrower is slave to the lender. And when you are free of that, it's an amazing thing what happens to your body, your soul, your mind, when you don't owe anyone anything. So Debbie, I think you're in go through such a hard situation. You have a beautiful life ahead of you that I think you can do really well. And I think trust your guts, because Debbie, you were right. How you're feeling, it's the way we would go to. So thanks for the call.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
I have a question about Parent Plus loans. My dad took it out for me and my two older sisters, and I've since graduated. This was 16 years ago that I graduated. But anyway, my parents are getting to retirement now, and it's basically like my dad always finds a way to throw in there that like he's paid on these Parent Plus loans like our whole lives, and just like saying that it's the reason that he's broke and that he doesn't have money for life insurance, and he's feeling the pinch of like retirement. And I basically don't know what to do, because I don't really know how much he owes. It's all like he just likes to throw it in there, and kind of like he's upset about it. But my mom won't let us pay them, because basically all three of my sisters, if we can't all pay, she doesn't want any of us to pay them back.
What was the original idea? Was the idea we're taking out these Parent Plus loans so you all can go to school and this is our gift to you? Or was it said from the beginning, we're taking these out in our names, but you guys are paying them? Was there a agreement? Do you remember?
So it's been a long time, and I don't really remember what the agreement was for me. But I know for my oldest sister, I just recently talked to her about it. My oldest sister, who's 8 years older than me, she said that when they first did it for her, it was kind of like, we'll pay for the Parent Plus loan while you're in school, but then after that, we want you to pick up the payment.
So did she pick up the payment?
She did for like maybe a year. And then when she got married and she had a baby, like my parents kind of just like relieved her of that responsibility.
So there's
And then
it's a gray area is what you're saying. It's a little different for everybody.
Right. And then my other sister did the same thing. She paid for a little bit after she graduated. But then since my oldest sister wasn't paying, my parents were like, well, it's not fair for us to make you pay. And so she stopped paying. But like by the time it got to me, none of them were paying. So they never made me pay.
Do you know, and if you asked how much they are, Dad, how much are they? Would he tell you?
The thing is, he consolidated them and stretched them out over this long period of time, which is why, like, it's also hard to pay because they're all
Do you
lumped
have a
together.
total amount?
I think it's in the 40,000 range for all of them.
All right.
Like,
And so, do you and your sisters have 15,000?
we do not. Yeah.
Then the discussions are irrelevant, honey. You don't have the money. Your dad signed up for this.
And he regrets it, and he feels
bad,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not much of a. I mean, I got to tell you, I'm pretty disappointed in him for guilt tripping his own kids after it was a decision he made. Be a man of honor. Eat your broccoli, buddy. You signed up for this trip. Don't dump it on your kids every time they come over for Thanksgiving, or don't be shocked they quit coming over for Thanksgiving. They're gonna get tired of you.
It has, like, pushed us away, like, you know, and...
Yeah, nobody likes being a travel. Nobody likes hanging out with a travel agent for guilt trips.
Now, there is a side of this, and I'm in no way putting this on you, but I'm putting myself in your position. If my dad had done this and I was hearing about it, me being who I am today, or even back then, I might be interested in figuring out, okay, how much did you take out? It was my education. What is it that I'd want him to speak for real to me?
If it's 40 today, I would just take it by 3, which is 15 grand roughly.
Yeah.
12 grand, you know, and just write a check and hand that to him and
exactly.
go, I'm done.
Clear.
I'm done. You talk to the other two.
And that's, I mean, I'm not saying you have to do that.
What do you make? You're in your 30s. What do you make?
I make $50,000 a year, or 50 to 60.
Are you married?
I have 2 jobs. Yes.
What's your husband
I'm married.
make?
He's about the same, 50 to 60.
So you guys make $125,000 a year.
Yes.
You have other debt?
Our house, and we're expecting a 3rd baby on the way.
And you don't have a dime. You don't have any money.
I do have a car note right now.
That's
but other than that, like, yeah, I owe 26 on that. But
good Lord.
Besides the car note and the car note and the house, we're good, and we do have a savings. But
how much is in your savings?
Like $3,000.
Okay, so you're not good. You're broke. You're your dad looking up for this same thing to happen in a few years. Okay, so you guys need to get your all's crap together, get this car paid off or get it sold, get you an emergency fund built, and then you can have a discussion about whether you want to reach over and help your parents. But today, you don't have a legal or a moral obligation in what you've told us. There's no ethical obligation here. It would be a gift, which is what Jade is describing she would do. If you get yourself in a good, strong financial position and you want to give someone a gift that's related to this discussion, that's fine. But this is a charitable gift. You could write charity on the 4line of the check if you wanted to. Because you do not owe this money.
You really don't. And the only reason I was saying it is if you thought there was some way, because I'm thinking, this is my dad, this is eroding our relationship. If there's some way that I feasibly can kind of take this into my own hands, that's something I would do, but you don't have to. And it's not to say that it would even
And you
fix
don't until you don't have a car payment and you have an emergency fund.
That's right.
And have a baby. You know, you got 3 things going on here that need money long before your dad gets any. So, yeah, I want to set you free from his guilt trips. He's not very honorable to do that. It's sad that an old man does that to his kids, his 3 daughters, and they do it all the time, though. And he's playing victim. He's playing victim for a trip he signed up for.
But the learning from
this way since he took it out.
Like, it's been this way since it's all in all other parts of his life too. You're not the only place that he blames someone else for his own stupidity.
But the learning that you can take from this today is
don't be him.
Don't be him. So you today have a situation that you need tending to, which is your own finances, so that when your baby gets old enough to go to college, you're not taking out Parent Plus loans. And so that when you're that age, you can look up and feel good about how you've managed your finances instead of pulling load off and blaming off on everybody else. So this is your learning from this.
So number one, if you never pay it back, that's fine. Number two, definitely don't pay it back until you don't have a car payment. Deliver this baby successfully and have more than $3,000 in an emergency fund. Okay, you need a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. You need zero debt except your house. And then if you want to save up $12,000 additionally, you and your husband agree on that. You do that in your budget and you want to throw it at them. That's a gift. That's fine. If you never pay him, that's perfectly okay with me. I'm really good with that.
Me too.
The only reason I would have you pay him is for you, not for him. He is not deserving. I'm pretty disgusted with him right now. So, I mean, I can't imagine. I'm 64, looking at my grown kids in their 30s and going, I mean, what a wuss.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. My kids would look at me and go, who are you? You know? And because it just wouldn't happen. I don't know whether it's hillbilly honor or what it is. I just have too much pride.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Dump it on your kids. It's a lack of honor.
I agree.
It's just a problem. So we got a manhood crisis in America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. You jump in. There's one way to solve all that, by the way. No student loans.
Yeah, how about that?
How about looking at these three girls when they're 17 and go, get a job and go to community college?
Go to a state school.
Hello. You can't go over there. You can't afford it. We don't have the money. And I'm not going in debt. You're up a creek, kiddo. You're going to have to figure it out. I like that answer.
I do too. Parents are not required to pay for college, and they're certainly not required to go into debt for it, but you are required to have a conversation early on about what the expectations are, and the expectation is there's no debt.
Yeah, and so go to a school you can afford. That we'll help you when we can, and that you can work while you're in school. By the way, it's not child abuse. And you can get some scholarships, and you can go to a state school, because nobody really cares where you went to school. All they care is you actually learned something. That's all they care. You never hired a doctor based on where he went to school. Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.